Hey everyone, this is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Tonight I have a special reading for you. It's a pick a card reading. I have 5 choices here. If you enjoy the reading, please like, share, and subscribe. And what I have here for pile number 1 is a smoky quartz. For pile number 2, I have a Lemurian crystal. Pile number 3, cat's eye. Pile number 4, protection amulet. Pile number 5, cool pink rock. So those are the 5 piles that I have for you tonight, and the question that I'm posing is, what mythical creature do you what mythical creature is with you right now and why? So we had recently in the Pacific Northwest, we had a Bigfoot sighting in the wild woods on video that was recorded, and the media kind of put it out in the news to everyone. So I was inspired by that to basically come up with some mythical creature archetypes, channel some information on those archetypes, do some research on those archetypes for you, and then provide a reading for you. Because I do think at certain times in our lives, we are calling certain energy in, and it might be a mythical creature. It might be the fairies. It might be the mermaids. I actually have a good friend of mine. The first time I met her, within a week of meeting her, I told her, I said, you really, really resonate with the mermaids. And so I always think of that whenever I see her. And so I thought that was really fun, and I hope you guys will find it fun as well. So with that, please take a few minutes to focus in on the piles. Again, pile 1, smoky quartz. Pile 2, Lemurian crystal. Pile 3, cat's eye. Pile 4, protection amulet. Pile 5, cool pink rock. Okay, so after you choose your pile, I'm gonna go ahead and put in the comment section the timestamp so that you can go directly to your pile. But with that, let us go ahead and start with pile number 1. Pile number 1 is going to be the smoky quartz. Okay, so these cards, I've pre-shuffled them. I have no idea what's underneath them. I actually have 10 mythical creatures, and I drew 5. And you can see it's turned over here, so I don't know what mythical creature you got pile number 1, but we're about to find out what mythical creature is with you and why. Okay, pile number 1. Oh, Bigfoot. How awesome. Oh. Okay, right away, pile number 1, you chose Bigfoot. And Bigfoot was actually my whole inspiration for doing this mythical creature reading. And so lucky you got Bigfoot. Now I'm gonna read you guys a channeled message that I wrote down about Bigfoot to start off here to explain why Bigfoot might be important for you in your life right now. I said, Bigfoot inspires more questions than answers. He's a massive man-ape wandering the forest. In Western North America, in the Pacific Northwest, actually, he's a hairy hunter, powerfully built. When I think of him, I think of Taurus energy. Bigfoot resonates with the energy of the giants. He or she, because we could be a big Mrs. Bigfoot here, pure freedom, living by instinct, and go live in the wild in an undiscovered place. So really, Bigfoot gets to wander the forests, and there was a picture of him in the Pacific Northwest wandering in the winter snow in the forests, and he's hairy, giant, large creature. But he gets to basically live on his own. He doesn't have to answer to anyone. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't go to work. He doesn't have a 9 to 5. He's essentially, a giant human man, but he doesn't have to live by the same rules and societal pressures that the rest of us have to live with. Also, I was thinking of Bigfoot as Taurus energy. So for those of you who are Tauruses or moon or rising in Taurus, or have a Taurus in your life that you're thinking about, this could be for them or for you, because Bigfoot actually reminds me of a Taurus, like a big giant hairy man. So I'm not saying that you're a big giant hairy woman if you're a Taurus, and they also like to live naturally. They don't like a lot of like fake lotions and fake stuff that just smells bad and doesn't, they like good food. They don't like the cheap and easy food. They want to sit down and have a good meal and savor it and eat it slowly, which is something, we don't get a lot to do in our modern day society. And so if you pick Bigfoot, I do feel that there's a part of you that wants to live above and beyond what we have been given to work with in our society, right? And I do think here you see, in the Six of Swords, you see the man, like this man, the mermaid in this Six of Swords, being kind of drawn away by his animal instinct and being taken away back into nature, back into the water is what it looks like, where he belongs, right? So I do think if you pick Bigfoot, you getting it also too with the leaves here on this success and growth card, and here too with all the the Nine of Pentacles here is so very earthy and natural. I definitely see here a big connection for you needing to return back into nature, to take, more camping trips, to go discover more, to go take hikes, to go walk in the woods, to get some balance, temperance, right? To get away from the constant grind of society and kind of let yourself be free in nature. And you have two major arcana cards here. You have Temperance and the Wheel. And so, these to me, this is a Jupiter card, this is a Sagittarius card. So you could also be a Sagittarius as well, a Jupiter ruled person who really needs their freedom. And I did write that down in my my channeled message is pure freedom, living by instinct. Right? So I definitely think, and also here, the love of, it looks like this woman looks like here, like she's a chef and she's, pulling down the ingredients that she needs in order to make a good meal. So what I also said too was, the Taurus energy aspect of this, where you don't necessarily have to be a Taurus, but, taking your time to eat a good meal, to sit down, to get away from, to not always have, Netflix or YouTube playing, to not always have music on, to not always have to have a constant script running in your head. Bigfoot is the part of us that needs to be wild and needs to experience life on our own terms and not have a boss telling us, oh, you need to come in and be to work at this time. It's freedom to just live by your own instincts. And I think that the other thing that I see here too is this Monster Within card, talking about internal struggle, personal challenges, and wanting to improve. And you can see, here she's playing the violin, she's got the wolf looking on, but she doesn't look like super happy. The violin is something that you learn to play that takes tedious effort and a lot of practice, right? And our work and our jobs and our environments can feel like it just takes tedious effort, right? But there's a monster within that wants to throw down the violin and say, fuck off. I'm going to run with the wolves, right? And so I feel like this is the inner struggle that we sometimes have in modern day society. And I definitely feel like, you're a person who's very driven toward success, and you're very driven towards your growth, with the tree here and the leaves. But there's also a part of you that really needs to pause and heal. This card kind of reminds me of the Hangman energy. And then also this opening up here as well. Part of the Bigfoot energy that I channeled too is, kind of going off and living on your own in the wilderness. If you've ever said, I just want to go off and live on my own in the wilderness, sometimes it's because we don't necessarily, this world makes us as quite solitary creatures, and you always see Bigfoot kind of walking around on his own without anyone else with him. And so that could also be telling you to open up and embrace the part of you that actually needs to have, live more by your animal instincts, live more by your natural timings, when you get up, when you go to sleep, when you have meals. But you need to live more by your natural rhythms, and you need to balance out your success and growth with, actually taking the time to tap into the more human side of your nature, and being out in nature and experiencing life more in a more raw way, instead of just, your 9 to 5. So I really think that, and I very much so am getting a Sagittarian vibe here, a Jupiter ruled vibe here, with these arrows and then these coins stacking up, and then she's standing on it. So I do think you're someone that works hard and has, is doing things in the material world. And I think Bigfoot is here to remind you that you need to connect to your more instinctual nature, and connect more into the wilderness, and so of yourself, so that you can heal and open up, right? So thank you, pile number 1. That was really fun. Okay, so get a drink of water there. Let's move on to pile number 2. Pile number 2 was the Lemurian crystal. Okay, so for pile number 2, what mythical creature is with you right now, and why? Ooh, the unicorns. I love the unicorns. Okay. All right, unicorns. Ooh. 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 All right, unicorns. Let me read you your message for pile number 2. Okay, miracles can happen, unicorns. The crown chakra and the third eye, are being activated. We've been through emotional tough times. We've had we've been in worry, we've been in doubt, we've been in grief, right? But the unicorns can bring us joy and let us know not to give up on our dreams, right? With the Hierophant here, I really see the happiness and the peace with what is, this stairway leading up into greater realms and greater knowledge. So, emotional tough times can bring joy. Don't give up on your dreams. When I think of the unicorns, I think of Aquarian energy, because it's quirky. We can see things without judgment, and we can be elusive when we need to be, right? We can be elusive. So this number 1 with this manifestation with the Magician here is definitely, the Magician can be manifesting and creating but also the magician can be very elusive and go hide behind their magic curtain. Look at, we've got the magic curtain right here with the healing beginning. We can go hide behind the curtain at will whenever we want to. So we can be elusive when we need to be and see without judgment. The unicorns are companion during a dark time. They're companion animals during a dark time, helping us cloak ourselves when needed, when we need to cloak ourselves when needed. And then they help us embrace diversity and weirdness as well here too. And I see this with this free will card here where it says sovereignty, independence, free spirit. And it looks like there's kind of like, I don't know what, I see the checkered floor behind her, and then it looks like there's this companion animal with her, and I couldn't say if it's a lion or a half lion, half unicorn, half Pegasus. I don't really know what this creature is, but it's definitely a weird creature. So that's what I wanted to say too with, and with the Three of Cups, it's definitely about joy, having joy with the people around us and being able to share that with our friends and loved ones, and like embracing our weirdness. Like here, they're having a pot of tea under the sea as mermaids and drinking tea under sea. Like nothing is weirder than that, probably. And so there definitely is joy in our weirdness, in our diversity, and embracing that helps us get out of this spiralic thinking when it is torturous. I always tell my friends that the nature of life is spiralic, and sometimes we're up, and sometimes we're up, and sometimes we're down, and a lot of it has to do with our mental state, right? And the Ace of Swords is here in the middle, balancing and bringing in new awareness into your situation. So in the past, if you were in deep grief or deep mourning, or it just felt like the dark night of the soul was never going to end for you, unicorn pile number 2, you're really the unicorns are infusing you with new light into your crown chakra and your third eye, and they're helping you get through if you had any depression, if you had any sadness, any anxiety. It's helping you to lighten up and loosen up. And if you look at this picture, this is the most relaxed Hierophant I've ever seen in any deck. Usually the Hierophant is pictured as like almost like a pope and being very like formal in his or her knowledge. And here you can see that this Hierophant is completely relaxed. His feet are together there. He's not wearing any shoes. He's just looking up and laughing, right? In laughter. So different than that from the Nine of Swords and Nine of Swords energy. And I feel like for you, pile number 2, you're really allowing the unicorns to step in and show you joy, and show you that yes, things can be okay. And from her expression here, I mean, my view on her is that she is an optimist by nature, and that she can see the good in everything, but that you're getting a lot more clear about, you're getting a lot clearer with the Ace of Swords and this clarity of belief, and with the Hierophant here, I think you're really starting to believe in yourself a lot more than you did in the past, and really understand your worth and why you're here. So I feel like that for you, pile number 2, is so great for you. You're gonna come in, the unicorns are guiding you into mental clarity. I almost see that horn on the head of the unicorn as like tapping into, it's like they rush forward and they got their horn out, but it's almost like a sword for you with this Ace of Swords. It's almost like just cutting through the bullshit, and then what's left on the other end of that is just relaxation and happiness, and knowing like you do have a connection to the divine. You do have a connection of your own making, right? And the unicorns are the magical creatures who have stepped in to show you that path. And so you're coming into a lot of clarity about what that means for you. And I also think too, free will with the Ace of Swords and this clarity and this manifestation, you're doing what you want to do. If there was any kind of energy that kept you stuck in the past, you are like, you're stepping out from that, and you're totally manifesting what you want on your own with the magic of the unicorns. And you have friends around you to help you do that too. Your friends are supportive and loving and want to help you step into your sovereignty and your independence. So pile number 2, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Now we will move on to pile number 3. So pile number 3 was the cat eye for those of you that chose pile number 3. Okay. What did you get for your mythical creature, pile number 3? Ooh, the dragons. Ooh la la. So fitting already. Oh my dragons, you're not messing around. No, you are not. You are not. Oh my goodness, dragons. Look at how powerful you are. Ooh, dragons. Mother of all dragons, look at this. You guys are just on it. Let's see what I wrote for you guys. Dragons, noble creatures of many riches and wealth. Ooh, Queen of Pentacles, the Emperor, right? Share the love, joy and stability. Noble creatures of many riches and wealth. Stability, I actually have that written in my channeled information, stability. The Emperor, stability, strength and magic, right? Strength and magic, okay? And death rights too, strength and magic. So mothering energy that provides abundance and magic into our lives. Ooh, I see that so strongly with the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like she is massive dragon energy for you guys. Into our overcoming challenges, the power to drive your agenda, right? Detaching, King of Swords, Emperor, right? The power to drive your agenda. Too much control, right? But there's sometimes too much control with the dragon, so you have to learn to detach. You've got to learn to detach sometimes, don't you, dragons? You're a loving ambassador of power. That's the Emperor and the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. Loving ambassador of power in sweetness. Show them how it's done, dragons. Fire and solar plexus. And you resonate with the words, I will. Okay. So that is basically, so I think share the love here is talking about how you guys are super powerful and you guys have a lot of resources, and if you don't have the most wealth right now, you're destined for it, and you're going to have a lot of resources. And so it's so important to share that with people, right? And then also detaching when things are not under your control and they don't go the way you want. Look at this mermaid emperor. He's so serious if you look at the look on his face. So you can tell he's got all his riches around him and he's used to things going his way. He's the fish are going his way. He's the damn emperor. Of course things are going his way, right? But I think it's telling you to detach when things don't go your way and don't let them bother you. And that's so true here with the Queen of Pentacles. She's a powerful mother of all the queens. She's a powerful mother, cashed up and sure of who she is, right? So she doesn't let the piddly bullshit get to her. She can detach and let things go for the greater good when need be. And so dragons, that's a message for you. And this death rites card here is really talking about that letting go, saying goodbye, formal occasion, honoring lives, right? So there's sometimes that we have to let go. And if you look at it here, she's releasing a bird and she's carrying the skeleton and she's got the wings on her back. So there's a definite story here for you, dragons, about releasing and letting go and understanding that joy and stability with the Emperor, King of Swords, and Queen of Pentacles is your birthright. With the Emperor, you're destined to rule over your kingdom and where you live. With the King of Swords, you'll have total clarity and you'll be extremely savvy about what you're doing. With the Queen of Pentacles, you're going to have that mothering abundance that's with you and that sense of self-worth, that you have something very valuable to share. And I definitely see the sacral chakra here too with this orange. The Hermit. So the Hermit is the one that I find the most interesting, I feel like, here, because these things are very already known about you. And I think with the Hermit, I think there's a real need to sometimes be off on your own, but I also think that that can get too much for you at times, and you need to share the love and feel the love. And I do feel like, you know, that a lot of times when you're so, like emperors, for instance, and King of Swords and Queen of Pentacles, these could potentially be lonely figures because they are so developed and so strong that not just anybody is going to necessarily be a match to them, and they don't just immediately gel with anyone. And they always say that, you know, power can be very lonely at times. And so I think you should remember that too, dragons, that it can be lonely being at the top. And so you really want to make sure that you're sharing what you have and that you're helping others and that you're realizing that you do have what you need. You do have the control and the power that you have sought for a lot of your life, but that it's okay to now share with others and open the door and detach when, you know, something just for some reason doesn't go your way. So dragons, I love this message for you. You guys are super strong. You're not messing around, but just remember to share with others, open yourself up to others, and detach when necessary. Okay, so thank you, pile number 3. All right, next, a drink of water there. We'll move on to pile number 4. So pile number 4 is this beautiful protection amulet that an amazing warlock, aka, well, warlock to be very evil. It wasn't a warlock, it was actually a male witch that gave this to me, and he made it. It's a very cool protection amulet. So for those of you that chose pile number 4, this is your pile. Let's see what mythical creature you are resonating with. Ooh. Well, the protection amulet with the thunderbird. My goodness. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh. Oh, thunderbirds. Oh, right. Thunderbirds. Let me read you your message. Okay. Native American indigenous history is really where thunderbirds come from. They are supernatural beings. They are extremely large birds, birds of prey. They've actually been known to be able to pick up whales and carry them from the ocean to their spot in the mountains. They're known for their superpower and strength. Thunderbirds control the upper worlds. They're large and mighty. They, like I said, carry the whale in their talons. They're enforcers of morality. 10 of Pentacles. So I can really see that. Choose your battles, enforcers of morality, right? They can dole out harsh punishments. Okay, Knight of Swords. You know, this choose your battles wisely, right? They can dole out harsh punishments when when they see those who are doing wrong. They are able to shapeshift to human form, and they control the weather and the elements. So here I can see this with the Sun card here in controlling the weather and the elements, right? And I do feel like with the Thunderbirds, you can have quite a temper. And you can have quite a cutting tongue and and you're not afraid of people. With this Knight of Swords, you're not afraid of people, and you can have quite a sharp tongue when somebody angers you or pisses you off. So, but I don't feel that that's, your natural state, or that you, walk around in that state. I think that, a lot of times you're softer. People see you as softer, actually, but if they upset you and make you angry, that you can definitely, go off. And in this Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords, I keep saying Wands, this Knight of Swords is coming out of the ocean with the sword. So it's like, emotional backlash, like if somebody does something to piss you off or goes against what you believe or think, you can be very sharp with that. And I think, sometimes maybe that has caused a bit of, it's caused some rifts in your relationships, because after the situation is over and things are calm and settled, certain things have been said, certain things have been done, and you just, you can't, other people might not let go of that as easy. It shows that what you really want with the 10 of Pentacles and the Sun is that you want happiness, and you want family, and you want tradition, and you want, like, when I look at the 10 of Pentacles and the Sun, I really do see morality here, because the Sun is like noble. It's like Leo energy. And then the 10 of Pentacles is very Capricorn to me. So it's somebody that like actually does value the traditional aspects of life. Maybe wants a family, wants to have kids, wants to be married, wants to have a good life and raise good children. Somebody who doesn't want to be a liar, doesn't want to hide who they are. Somebody who doesn't want the other people around them to lie about who they are and what they're being up to. And so the Thunderbirds can, and I think here too, it's saying that, like, if somebody gets in your way of that, you might get quite upset about that. And so, you might see other people as trying to basically overrun you, or that you've got to stand up to certain people and say things. And this card here is saying, choose your battles, right? Choose your battles with that, because this sadness and isolation and the Four of Cups fit together. It's like after the battle, who's left standing, who's there for you, who's around, right? And I think to deal with some of your excess emotional energy and that sharp tongue of yours, this move advice is really key. It's in the Sun too, with move, is telling you, you need to move, you need to try, you need to do different things. Get up and, go for a run, go for a hike, go to a workout, go to yoga, go to you know, maybe even go to something more vigorous, go to CrossFit, but go to something where you're actually moving around and you're spiking up your vitality, and you're burning off some of that vitality so you don't get into shitty fights with people that really don't need to happen, because it shows that, like, you know, in the past, maybe some of your relationships were like, you know, like things had to be sacrificed, or things, you didn't get what you wanted because maybe somebody pissed you off, or maybe somebody said words to you that left you feeling very alone and isolated, right? And so it's showing a pattern of this in your past, of having to, you know, sit with the emotional effects of that after that happened. It's showing you, in order to get out of that you really need to move, and you need to do things to help you, you know, slough off some of that energy, and to choose your battles. And I think, you know, if some of you are Aries, if you're an Aries sun, moon, or rising, or you have a significant other that's an Aries sun, moon, or rising, choose your battles is an excellent advice. For any fire sign person, if you're a Leo as well with the sun here, you know, or even a Capricorn here with the 10 of Pentacles, choose your battles wisely and don't just go shooting off into the distance here. You have a very powerful presence and voice, and you know, the 10 of Pentacles and the sun here show me that you are gonna get what you want. You will. You just kind of manage yourself along the way a little bit and do some things to burn off steam, so that you're not just rushing into things with a sharp tongue and kind of regretting what happens afterwards. So thank you, pile number 4, Thunderbirds. You guys are pretty cool. Massive birds looking out after you. Okay, and then we have, lastly, take another drink. Lastly, we have pile number 3, the cool pink rock. My friend gave me this pink rock, so it always makes me think of her whenever I look at it. Okay, so for pile number 5, what mythical creature is with you now and why? Yeah. The fairies. Ooh, oh, I love the Knight of Cups for the fairies. That's so sweet. Ooh, 8 of Cups, my watery people. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Ooh, oh my gosh, I got chills. Number 5. Whew, boy, you guys definitely have the fairies with you. Fairies are with you guys big time. This Knight of Cups is so fairy-like. I don't even know what to, it's this guy, he's looking into this beautiful cup. It's the Knight of Cups is always very romantic in decks, and he just has this very peaceful, serene look. And of course the fairies have to do with the nature kingdom, and we have natural right here, which is amazing. So let's read the fairy message for you guys. Okay. Fairies are caring for the earth. They're keeping the old ways alive. Okay, so they're caring for the earth and keeping the old ways alive. Caring for animals, healing, Empress energy. Okay, they're creative and artistic. So I'm thinking, when I was thinking of the fairies, I was really channeling Virgo energy and the sacral chakra. So if you're a Virgo or a Gemini, would be Mercury ruled people, the fairies could definitely be speaking to you here. Fairies are spirits of the land, okay, that appear in human form. They can come in human form looking and bringing energy like mercurial energy. There are many different types of fairies. Some fairies are troublemakers, some are fun, some are air fairies, some are water fairies. but they work with the earth and the earth elements. They're changeable and adaptable. Okay, they're changeable and adaptable, and they are portals to the angelic realm. They work with the angels. They are angelic helpers, but they're very close to us humans. So the fairies are with you now. And the fairies, actually, when I saw this Ace of Pentacles, immediately I was like, the fairies have something to give to you. They have something that they're trying to give to you, but I think you're being, for some reason, you've been a little bit standoffish, and you've been maybe not wanting to take their gift for some reason. And I think it's because you might be a little bit fearful of connecting with this energy. And that might be because of past experiences that you've had that have not been altogether positive when dealing with the unseen realms. And that's, you know, totally understandable. And I've been there too. And it can feel like, you know, touching a hot flame. It's like, I don't know if I want to do this. But it's definitely telling you to take the lead and to go for it. And you know that you're going to be protected. And I think when we think, this card also reminds me of an angel too, almost like a very young, sweet angel. And so that's why I think it's so interesting to have the fairy connection. And then this with the natural, like there's nothing to be afraid of. Here it says observe, right? And here, even with the Nine of Wands, she's observing. She's obviously looking at something, and she's like, I don't know, right? Like I'm trying to receive a gift here, but I don't know, I'm not sure. And so here it's saying, basically observe what's happening around you and look at the various things from different perspectives, because this rainbow here is showing that you're supposed to be receiving new information, and you're supposed to be having connection to the fairy realm, to the fae, and that it's okay if you want to stand back and observe for a while, like how they work and how they interact, and understand that they're part of the natural world, and that they're not trying to scare you in any way. And I think here with the darkest fears, like I said, you might have had some experiences with that before. With this energy, I also feel like there's a wistful romantic energy here. And so this might have to do, maybe the fairies are with you because of prior relationship baggage that you are basically leaving behind and moving on from. Maybe you were too idealistic with the relationships in the past, and you didn't build a high enough fence to really protect yourself. And so there's a part of you that's a little suspicious and sensitive and vulnerable, and doesn't necessarily want to give everything at once. And I think, you know, when working with the fairies and working with other realms, it's completely natural to be somewhat suspicious or curious about, hey, what's really actually happening here? And that also goes for people in your human life too, for the people that you meet. And I think, you know, don't fall prey to your darkest fears. Take the lead in situations, observe how people behave and how they act, and if they really meet your standards. And only then will you share the gifts that you also have to give to others as well too, because with the Ace of Pentacles is a precious gift, and you're not just going to share that with anyone. And maybe the younger you would have been more idealistic and more would have been more easily tempted to do that. But I do feel like you've become wiser, and you've learned to protect yourself more, but not at the expense of letting the fairies are helping you, I feel like, connect to the gentle energy that is still very much in you, that hasn't been like wiped out of your psyche and out of your soul. You're still a very gentle person that wants to share with others and give to others. And I think the fairies are here to help you deal with that. And with their connection with the natural world, nature is going to be very important to you too, and healing through that. So with that, thank you, pile number 5. If you enjoyed the readings today, please like, share, or subscribe. Thank you again so much for joining me. Again, this is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot, and I will leave the pick a card, why can't I think of what I want to say right now? The pick a card timestamps in the comment section, so you can actually do more than one reading if you want to. Thank you for being with me here today. Good night.